What to do, Scrap My Family? We back with another video today. We're gonna do it a little differently, I'm just gonna face us so you can get our full reaction, our faces, and everything on the subject at hand today. And the subject at hand today, we're gonna do two different things. First, we're gonna start with some deep, touching stuff that us as Moors, and I'm gonna repeat it because I know y'all probably just went blank on me when I said that. Us as Moors, not African Americans, what they claim us to be. Because that's not what we are. I know Cuzzo here, he looking for the video right now, but he'll tell y'all more, and y'all gonna be listening into the video. So this is definitely something that my people need to realize, that this is real. This is who we are, who we've been since the beginning of times.
And they've been hiding it. They've been hiding this and pressing this information to keep us free. Or to keep us from being free.
Yeah, to keep us from being free. Exactly. Because basically, once you know this, it's like it takes us to a different level, because we're really the supreme being. Honestly, with me saying that, I mean we're really the chosen ones, not them. And all these laws.
You ever watch that video?
Oh, I ain't watch all of it. I had stopped it because I was coming to get you yesterday.
Bishop. If you have relied on prior decisions of the Supreme Court, you have the perfect defense for willfulness. U.S. versus Minker.
Meaning, if whatever kind of case you got, speeding case, murder case, rape case, or whatever, and the Supreme Court already made a decision on that shit, all you gotta do is go to Supreme Court case law and say, hey, look, this right here apply to my case. This right here apply to my case. So here come the case law. The Supreme Court already ruled on this. Ain't nobody higher than the Supreme Court. So we in the damn civil court. Supreme Court already said this. So you can't rule nothing else. You don't supposed to rule nothing else. But they do anyway.
Well, everybody said they do anyway because people don't know the knowledge.
Right.
Of what appears to be a lawful command on the surface, many citizens, because of their respect for what only appears to be a law, are cunningly coerced into waiving their rights due to ignorance. Brady versus U.S. Waivers of constitutional rights, not only must they be voluntary, they must be knowingly intelligent acts done with sufficient awareness. Ziegler versus Railroad. If any question of fact or liability be conclusively presumed against him, this is not due process of law. Schur versus Cullen. For a crime to exist, there must be an injured party, a corpus delicti. There can be no sanction or penalty imposed on one because of this constitutional right.
Constitution, man.
Marbury versus Madison. The Constitution of these United States is the supreme law of the land, and any law that is repugnant to the Constitution is null and void of law. Walker versus Kansas.
Can you break that down for them, please? There's some people that's not gonna be able to catch all this shit just off rip. Cause I'm one of them, honestly. I have a disability where it takes me time to break down stuff.
Okay. So when it's Marbury versus Madison, the Constitution of the United States is the supreme law of the land, and any law that is repugnant to the Constitution is null and void. So basically, what they're saying is how the state make up these laws. If they going against the Constitution, they don't stand in law.
Right.
That's all that's saying.
So basically, stating that the Constitution is above any type of state law, federal,
any state law, any statute, any code, any ordinance. The Supreme Court is the law.
It's the law of the land.
Law of the land, yeah.
So it's above all of that.
Everything.
So y'all hear that, right? These are Supreme Court case laws that you should know as being a Moor or just a regular person.
And any law that is repugnant to the Constitution is null and void of law. Bulger versus Kansas. Under the United States Republic's constitutional system of government, and upon the individuality and intelligence of the citizen, the state does not claim to control one's conduct due to others, leaving one the sole judge as to all that affects oneself.
When they just said United States of America Republic Constitution, I want to ask y'all, where did these Democrats come from? Because ever since United States and Morocco came into, since they made the treaty, 1787, it was always the United States of America Republic.
Right.
It was never United States of America democracy.
Right.
So, in a sense, if we learning history right now, all of us Republicans.
Right.
Well, all are supposed to be Republicans.
Supposed to be.
Yeah. And now we can see where the world going, why it's getting fucked up. Because if y'all notice, these Republicans, they don't vote, they don't do the things that the Democrats do. Like, okay, for one, not trying to speak on nothing negative for the sake of my boy YouTube, but Democrats, they support the LG.
Right.
They support them. They made it a law for them to actually do certain things and get reparations.
Right.
Republicans, they don't go for that.
Right.
They already know it's man and woman. They know how to,
Right, since the beginning of time.
Basic shit. So when it comes to what's got the world confused, not just based off of that logic, it's a plethora of other things, but these Democrats got us fucked up. And we got to claim our national name and get back to how we used to live.
Right. Because when y'all really know, when you claim your national name as a Moor, we don't abide by none of these laws that they got made to keep us captive. We don't abide by none of that shit.
And that's all it is, to keep us captive, bro. You said that right.
Because when you think about it, and once you learn more and more, like I am, when that peace treaty was made, that goes to show you that we were already the supreme beings. Because why would these people that supposedly saying America is America be making a peace treaty with the Moorish nation?
Exactly.
That means we had to be a significance of something. Like, you feel what I'm saying? We had to be somebody in order to get a peace treaty with these people. And
they wanted to do business. The Europeans wanted to do business over here,
right?
Because they knew how much money was being made over here,
right?
Well, we can take that back because according to legalese, it's no money. But they wanted to get into the gold trade, because they knew United States of America, which was called the Northwest of Mexico, which means furthest west, which means Africa. Right. They knew that Africa was the land of milk and honey, and they knew that, and they wanted a piece of it. And if you go back and study history, I read a book called Columbus, and in the book, Columbus will speak on his memoirs of Columbus's brother and his son when they were trying to sail the seas to come to America,
right? And
the European did not know how to get to America. And the reason why he got to America because a Moor named Sambo sold us out, sold our people out, and gave up our resource. Yep. And they kept saying, Columbus kept saying he kept going around in circles. And then he finally reached out to one of the Moors and said, "Hey, y'all know where this place right here is? Oh yeah, you gotta sail the water like this to get there. But if you sell it the regular way, you're not gonna get there." And when he got him over there, the first thing Christopher Columbus wrote down in his memoirs was saying that he when he got off the ship in the South Americas, He ran into big Moors, big brown, 7 feet Moors, had gold, big men, you know. And that's where y'all fuck up at. Y'all celebrate this Thanksgiving and don't even know the real history behind Thanksgiving. But I'm gonna give it to you real fast when we get back to this video. When Christopher Columbus, his brother, and his son got to the Americas, they were greeted by Moors. The Moors were giving them gold when they got off the ship and everything. The Moors showed them how to bathe because when they said they got off the ship, they had diseases and all that shit. Most of the men that came with Christopher Columbus, they died on the ship, and then
that's a fact.
Yeah, because of disease and all that. So when they came here, we showed them how to wash, how to get rid of their disease. We showed them that you don't supposed to, they were sleeping in Europe. They were sleeping in the barns with their pigs and their cows. They were sharing the same bathrooms and housing the area with the animals. That's why they had so much disease. And us Moors, us brown people, showed them how to grow, how to live. So when it was time for the harvest of our plants and the harvest of killing our animals, the Moors made a big feast.
Right.
And they called that feast Thanksgiving. So the reason why I say y'all fuck up when y'all celebrate Thanksgiving is because 3 days later, after the feast, after the Thanksgiving feast, they started killing the Moors in their sleep because they know they couldn't get them while they was awake. They started killing them in their sleep, and they started taking they took some of those Moors back to Europe. When they got back to Europe, Queen Elizabeth, she seen the first big Moor. And Queen Elizabeth was in love with brown people. She was in love with Moors. She told Christopher Columbus and his brother to go get more of those Moors. She sent Christopher Columbus and the brother back to the Americas with 16 big ships. Now we're gonna speak on us as brown people. Just imagine you at the coastline or whatever beach you at, whatever beach you want to put yourself on, whether you on California beach, whatever beach, Myrtle Beach, Virginia Beach, Miami Beach. Just imagine you see 16 big ass cruise ships coming in, and you already know these folk are already left, but now they coming back. What you gonna do?
I'm getting the fuck out of there.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna sit there.
Exactly, and that's what the Moors did. The Moors fled from them people because they knew what type of time they was on.
Right. You're not dumb.
Yeah, but what I want to tell y'all about Thanksgiving. They started 3 days after they had that feast. They murdered the Moors and they took all their gold, and they took most of them back. The ones that they caught, they took them back to Europe as slaves.
It's basically the same stuff they're doing now in modern day.
Yeah, same shit.
They take from us, then they kill us or they hurt us or whatever, put us in jail. It's basically the same type of scenarios that's going on now.
Miller versus Kansas. The claim and exercise of a constitutional right cannot be converted into a crime. Miranda versus Arizona. Where rights secured by the Constitution are involved.
That last one? It said
no right cannot be converted into a crime.
The claim and exercise of a right cannot be converted into a crime.
Miranda versus Arizona. Oneself. Miller versus Kansas.
Yeah, the claim and exercise of constitutional rights cannot be converted into a crime.
Because the state ain't got no rights to give. You born with rights.
Right.
You born with substantive rights. You born with that. You born into that constitutional contract when you sign that birth certificate. So the state ain't got no rights to give. So if you want to exercise your right, they can't say, "Hey, you damn traveling, that's a crime."
Right. Which they still do.
Which they still do.
Because either they're ignorant to the fact that this is real, and they don't want you to know about it, or they're just mad that they can't do nothing about it, and they try to still get you on anything.
Yeah, that's what they try to do, bro.
It's just fucked up.
The claim and exercise of a constitutional right cannot be converted into a crime. Miranda versus Arizona. Where rights secured by the Constitution are involved, there can be no rulemaking or legislation which would abrogate them. Cooper versus Aaron. No state legislator or executive or judicial officer can war against the Constitution without violating his undertaking to support it. D. Gibbons versus Older.
So what they mean by that? Hold on, let me
Read it again.
we about to go back so I can read it again.
Read it again.
Oh, it wasn't this one. It was the one before.
It was the one before that.
Yeah, the one before this.
Or judicial.
There we go. No state legislator or
Executive or judicial officers can war against the Constitution without violating his undertaking to support.
So that means when you in there and you talking about the Constitution in court, they had to uphold that. They can't go against that. If they go against it, they're going against their oath.
That's them cats fighting for.
Yeah, that's what I said. That cat's getting in down there.
Yeah. Them. What that's saying right there is
without his undertaking.
He took an oath. He took an oath every morning. These police take oaths to support and defend the Constitution.
Right.
So if you in court, he already damn didn't uphold his end.
Right.
Meaning, if you traveling and he pull you over, he ain't upholding his Constitution.
Right. Especially once you let him know that you're traveling and not driving. Because like you said, wording is key. Yeah, so once you start talking just how they talk, they don't like it.
That's why it's good to get up on not just your knowledge here. You got to get up on police knowledge. Know how they talk. Because say if damn one of the police pull me over, I'm speeding, so-called speeding. He said, "Hey, can I get your license registration?" I'm gonna say, "Yeah, officer, but what's your RAS?" And he gonna say, "What the RAS?"
Your RAS.
Yeah.
Is reasonable, articulate suspicion, right?
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. You start talking like them, they're like, "Oh shit, this nigga know a little something. Let me back off a little bit." You know?
For sure.
But anytime they pull you over, whatever, and they trying to give you a ticket or whatever,
ask them, "What's your RAS?"
They're going against the Constitution anyway when they pull you over.
Officer can war against the Constitution without violating his undertaking to support it. D. Gibbons versus Older. Persons are not subjects of commerce, and not being imported goods, they do not fall within the means founded upon the Constitution of a power given to Congress to regulate commerce and the prohibition of the states for imposing a duty on imported goods. Penhauer versus Dorns. Administrators define governments distinctly. Governments are corporations. In as much as every government is an artificial person, an abstraction, a creature of the mind only. A government can deal only with artificial persons. The imaginary, having no reality or substance, cannot create or attain parity with the real.
Basically, what this is when you go to a courtroom or they give you that citation or that ticket, and your name is in all capital letters, that's not you. That's the artificial person. That's the corporation.
Right.
So when they want to address you, if the cop give you a ticket and the name is all caps, don't take it. That ain't me. My name is capital D ARRI. You know what I'm saying? Because that all caps is corporation, and that ain't you.
Right. And once you're in corporation, you're tied into that bond.
Once you go in there in your corporate war status, you're already in their jurisdiction.
Right.
But when you go in there in propria persona and you in your proper status, then you look different to the court.
Right. You are different.
You are. Yeah.
Murdoch versus Pennsylvania. No state shall convert a liberty into a privilege, license it, and attach a fee to it, Shuttlesworth versus Birmingham.
Hold up.
If the state
You gotta run that back. Cause that right there was
into a privilege.
That right there is one of the strongest ones y'all need to know.
Versus Pennsylvania. No state shall convert a liberty into a privilege, license it, and attach a fee to it.
No state shall convert a liberty. Do you understand this? A liberty into a privilege. Because what they tell you as a youngin', getting your license is what? A privilege. Privilege. Why is getting your license a privilege?
Cause that's the
We already know how to drive. You naturally know how to drive. Like, just growing up, like seeing stuff, and you naturally know how to do these things. So how is it a privilege? That's because what they tell us.
Because when they operate, United States of America Corporation operate on commerce. They operate on money. They operate on business. You know what I'm saying? So all the laws and shit they got is for business.
Right.
It's for commerce. Right. Business.
It's not really to protect us or the land of the free and all that bullshit. No, it's really a whole business. They making money off every fucking body, not just colored people. They making money.
They're making the most off of us, though.
Right. Oh, for sure.
They're making the most off of us
because we are the majority that spends the money.
Donald Trump will tell you he don't pay no taxes. Mitch O'Connell will tell you he don't pay no taxes. All these motherfucking rich people, they know they don't have to pay taxes. We the only people that we gotta please the IRS. But when you paying the Inquisition, you paying Rome. And people don't know that. And that's why all that money, all that tax money y'all seeing and paying, they go straight to Rome. Right. Every fucking year. If you think I'm lying, look it up.
So basically he's saying no state shall convert a liberty into a privilege, license it, and attach a fee to it, which they do.
Yep. They put that what? They convert your liberty, or they convert your right to travel into a privilege.
Yep.
And they say, hey, you got a privilege to drive on this when you get a certain age. So when you get that certain age, hey, these are called license. You got to have this license to drive. Wordplay. You have to have license to operate a motor vehicle. You don't have to have license to travel in an automobile. It's a wordplay with these people in courtroom. In the courtroom, y'all will see the same thing.
Because there's a difference between driving and traveling, and there's a difference between a motor vehicle and an automobile.
Yep.
Which most people be like, there's no difference. It's the same thing.
If the state converts a liberty into a privilege, the citizen can engage in the right with impunity. Owens.
I missed that one. I was talking.
No state shall convert a liberty into a privilege, license it, and attach a fee to it. Shuttlesworth versus Birmingham. If the state converts a liberty into a privilege, the citizen can engage in the right with impunity.
Okay. Let's break that down. What the heck that last word mean, huh?
So we won't tell no lies. There's one thing I don't want to do.
I'm going to look it up. All right. It says Shuttlesworth versus Birmingham. If the state converts a liberty into a privilege, the citizen can engage in the right with impunity. Impunity. I say that right.
Impunity. Exception from punishment or freedom from the injurious consequences of an action.
Except of punishment?
Yep, exception from punishment or freedom from the injurious consequences of an action. Meaning, if the police or goddamn them motherfuckers put their hands on you, you got a right to defend yourself.
Right,
bro.
like I said in that one earlier.
Yeah. You got a right to defend yourself.
Oh, and they say, that's assault.
Assault, yeah.
No, that's really they're assaulting us,
and they know and that's why most of our people get a charge with resisting arrest and assault against the police. You know what I'm saying? Because we know for a fact you're not even supposed to be, psychologically we know, bro, the police ain't supposed to be fucking with us,
right?
But we don't know why.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We don't understand the reason why they fucking with us or why they don't supposed to be fucking with us.
Right.
And this is the reason they not supposed to be fucking with us, is because we're Moors. We above this law that they talking about.
Because we the ones who damn near help them make that Constitution and that peace treaty.
We did help them.
So it's like we didn't help them make it to fuck us over. Like, come on, make that make sense? It's to help
Owens
us.
versus City. The state is prohibited from violating substantive rights, and it cannot do by one power, for example, police power, that which is, for example, prohibited expressly to any other such power, for example, taxation/eminent domain, as a matter of law. U.S. and UT versus Daniels. Nor indirectly that which is prohibited to it directly. Fairbanks versus U.S. Hoffsummer versus Hayes. The courts are not bound by an officer's interpretation of the law under which he presumes to act. Rodney Dale. Class versus North Carolina Department of Transportation. Police Department is not an agency of the state. Owen versus Independence. Officers of the court have no
Police
immunity.
Department is not an agency of the state.
No.
Meaning?
Of the law under which he presumes to act.
Meaning they acting. They ain't got no jurisdiction for how they say they the state. They ain't got no jurisdiction. It's not. It hasn't been police. Okay, we got to go back to history. The police, they used to be elected. Now they just hired.
I'm glad you said that.
So
glad you said that.
If it's no, that's why in any county, the sheriff, which is elected, he's the highest in the county.
This is the problem. This is one of the problems we're having now.
Because he's elected. But when you get police that are hired, they don't know what the fuck going on. They don't know the law. They just go into academy and they say, "Wait, well, I got to use this gun. I got to use this taser. If I catch a motherfucker going over 35, basic shit." They don't get into the law. They don't get into what they put their hands up to defend. Right. You know?
Now, my thing is, I'm not gonna cut you off right there just for a second. They should have never changed that, because we as the people should be electing who we want to protect us, because we are the people. They're supposed to be protecting us and everything around us, or whatever the case may be. So at the end of the day, it's not. I don't think it's right that they hire these folks, because most of these folks don't even really be for the people,
and some of them don't even be from your city
at all. So I don't even know what's going on. No, none of that. So that means off the rip they're profiling.
And exactly.
They're profiling off the rip.
Same reason why that little boy, that was crazy. A couple years ago, little boy got shot with Down syndrome. Damn. I think he had some type of disorder. I don't want to lie and say it was Down syndrome. He had some type of disorder, but he was the police was trying to detain him, but they didn't know he had that disorder because they weren't from the city.
Right.
And they end up shooting him. They didn't kill him. They end up shooting him, but they didn't even have to go that far, because if you would have knew who you was dealing with, you would have knew how to deal with him.
Exactly. That's crazy, bro. Shit is crazy. It's not right.
Rodney Depp.
That's why I be telling y'all brown people, we got to get our own shit. We got to get out. We got to get away from this government. We got to get our own shit, bro.
Well, we have our own shit.
We do, but it's
just the majority don't know.
Mm-hmm. Just like
they don't know. Just like that last incident that we watched. That we'll probably watch it again for y'all because I don't think we reacted to it. But basically, he talked to another man of color and let him know that you are a Moor. You're not black. You're not an African American. You're not none of that. This is what they tell you are. That's not what you are. You are a Moor. And he got mad.
And prove to me that you African American. Prove to me that you black. If you can prove to me that you black or you African American, I give you 100.
We talking facts now. Facts.
Class versus North Carolina Department of Transportation. Police Department.
I can prove you ain't black right now. I'm gonna prove this right now. This the color black right here.
Right.
And this man's face ain't nowhere near black.
Oh God.
This man here right here is black. This is black right here, y'all. Y'all, that let me know y'all ain't even paying attention to yourselves. Pay attention to yourselves for a minute. This skin color is not black. When we go outside, the shit gonna get darker brown. When we come back in the house and get in that cool air, it's gonna get a lighter brown. We only change brown. We don't change to black. The reason why they call these motherfucking Europeans the colored people is because when they go outside in the sun, they turn orange. When they die, they turn blue. Hey, we stay one color. Mm-hmm. When they get mad, they turn red. So for real.
That's facts though.
So who the colored people? Y'all got to pay attention to what y'all hearing. Mm-hmm. Pay attention to what y'all hearing. And I was told as a youngin', you got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen more than you speak.
God.
Is not an agency of the state. Owen versus Independence. Officers of the court have no immunity when violating a constitutional right or liability, or they are deemed to know law. Sapp versus Tap.
Did y'all hear that? Come on, man. And they do all the time. You know why? Because you don't know this.
Yep.
Because if you did know this, you would have straight brought that up in court.
Mm-hmm. And they get to violate y'all because y'all don't know. They get to break the law because y'all don't know. And then they bring a lot of police around and y'all get scared and think, damn, these motherfuckers gonna kill me or do something. Bitch, you gotta die. You gotta die for something. Die for something. I be goddamn if I get. I'm gonna give y'all an incident with me. There's a lot of police surrounded me in North Carolina, and I don't give a fuck about North Carolina. Them motherfuckers surrounded me, and I still bug. That's because I know how to talk. You can't just be belligerent without knowing how to damn talk. You can be belligerent, you can cuss them out and do all that other shit, but you got to know how to quote these case laws to keep them off your ass.
Because once you hit them with something, and they automatically like, oh, this nigga knows something. This dude knows something. So they gonna try to hit you with something else. Mm-hmm. That's when you gotta hit them with. You hitting them with.
That's why it's important. Study. That's why exactly. I was about to say that. Study.
Like you just go out there and think, oh, you tell them you drive around with no license, no tag, and you don't really know what you're talking about, except for that certain fact. They're gonna hit you with more stuff that you need to know, other than them facts.
If not, you're going to the county.
They're gonna lock you up. You're gonna be there mad like, how is this possible? Because I'm a Moor, but you gotta know damn near everything about our history.
And then if you do, even if you do get locked up and go to the county, the fight ain't over.
No, for sure.
It still ain't over
at all.
Because you still got these other circuit judges that you can make appeals to, and they gonna look back and say, hey, if they standing up on their fiduciary duties, then they gonna say, hey, this judge underneath me was wrong. He shouldn't even be here. Or if he on the same side as that judge, you got to take it to the next level until it get to the Supreme Court. You might have to lose a little bit of money, But when the Supreme Court say, "Hey, look, we already ruled on this. We gotta throw this shit out." Boom. Now you get to come back to your county and say, "Hey, I'm suing y'all for them making me go through all this shit." Y'all just gotta take the time out to study, and if shit like this happen, you gotta take the time. You gotta be patient. You gotta trust the process. You gotta trust what you learn.
And that's what most of us. I'm gonna say that people in our color do that.
They want no fast results. They want to see shit fast. They want shit to happen right then.
They ain't got time to sit around and learn this and sit around for lawyers to do this and that. But that's what you got to do sometimes, man.
No, we ain't going there with no lawyers. We ain't going in with no lawyers. We ain't going in with no lawyers. We going in our proper person.
Proper person.
Because when you going in with lawyers, the lawyer know the judge know the lawyer. They probably done sat down and had food
already.
Yeah, breakfast this morning talking about what the fuck y'all got going on. So you always going in there defending yourself. Always stand on your square, defend yourself. That's a Latin word, propria persona, which means me. I'm going in that courtroom as me. I ain't going in there as the fictitious entity. I'm coming in that bitch as me. And when you go in there in the courtroom and you got the judge and you got the two seats where the prosecutor sit and you sit, and you got this big ass long bar that you got to damn go across. Never cross the bar. I always talk to the judge from the bar. Because when you go across the bar, they'll say, "You in our jurisdiction. You ready to play our game now? You in our court. You ready to play the game now?" But if you don't step on the field, if you don't cross the line, they can't say, "Hey, he's ready to play our game now. He in our jurisdiction." So you gotta actually look at being in court as a game, because that's exactly what it is.
They're playing the game.
They gonna run the game on you. You gotta run the game on them.
You just gotta know how to run it.
Soon as we playing basketball, soon as we jump on that court, referee say, "Game time." Ain't got no players on the court. We can't start the game.
Right.
It's gonna be the referee and the other team. This team ain't going across the bar to start the damn game. Cause first off, we ain't even supposed to be in this game. We supposed to be out in another game.
Protect you. Their job is to protect the corporation and arrest code breakers. Michigan versus Duke. State police power extends only to immediate threats to public safety, health, welfare, etc., which driving and speeding are not. Only to immediate threats to public safety.
Meaning, police are only supposed to protect corporations. Like Walmart, Chick-fil-A. Them the shit. That's where they supposed to be parked at. That's where they supposed to be sitting at, just in case motherfuckers try to steal their property. But they don't protect us. You know. So that's why they always show up when the crime has already happened. They don't show up when the crime is going on.
Right.
They show up when crime has already happened. So that's why it's up to us, the people, to fight that crime ourselves. And then while we talking, I'm gonna go left with this real quick. I'm gonna just throw this out here. Some of y'all, I know it's some of y'all game bangers watching this. You might be low key game banging, or you might be high key game banging. Whether you're banging red, blue, green, purple, whatever it is that you banging, I guarantee none of y'all can't beat none of the blue boys. And when I say the blue boys, I'm talking about the police. Why? Why? They the biggest gang in America and ain't been stopped yet. And they got brown people on their side too. It's a European game, but they got brown people on their side too.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all red and blue and green, y'all fighting against each other, and then y'all all brown. So who winning? And then some of y'all that's gang banging, y'all going to the police side. So who winning? We got to change the definition of being real niggas, bro. We got to change that definition. Y'all want to bang something? Let's bang this together.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put this together. Let's put that red down. Let's put that blue down. Let's put that green, that other shit down. Let's start putting this together. Because it's just like I look at gangs like church. The Protestants can't fellowship with the Baptists. The Baptists can't fellowship with the American Episcopal. But they all reading the same Bible. If we all reading the same thing, we should be all getting the same knowledge. Mm-hmm. We should all be able to fellowship together. But that's division. That's division. You divide and you putting 10 group of brown people here, 10 group of brown people here, and 10 group of brown people here. When all of us can be together. It's division within division. Mm-hmm. And that shit corny.
Super. Super. We fighting against each other, killing each other, while they sitting back laughing.
That's all they doing is laughing at our dumb ass. Been trying all these years, all different kind of ways to kill us. Mm-hmm. And y'all see we still here. You see we still multiplying. Mm-hmm. Y'all should see it ain't just by chance, nigga. This is supposed to happen. This is supposed to happen. Y'all got to get behind this shit though. Y'all can't get behind it when you looking death in the face. I'm a crip. I'm a blood. And then when you get in the courtroom, none of that crip and blood shit don't matter. Mm-hmm. It don't hold no weight. It don't hold no weight in law. It don't. My whole weight on the street. Me in the street, nigga, played out.
Oh God.
That shit is played out, bro. I want to live for a long time. Mm-hmm. And I know the smart guy live the tough guy any day.
Mm-hmm. Any day.
Any day.
But
any fucking
day. Always
day.
just tell me, bro. Rest in peace, my pop. So always tell me. For one, if you is gonna go do something, do it by yourself.
Yeah, right.
And for two, the streets is always gonna be there. Mm-hmm. When you long and dead and gone, mm-hmm. them same streets still gonna be there. Mm-hmm. So that should tell you something.
Yeah. And there's one thing about the streets. The streets ain't gonna judge you, but they gonna love you. Mm-hmm. They don't give a damn who you is. They ain't gonna judge you. They gonna love you. They get you out there. But at the end of the day,
it's always gonna be that one person that want to take you out.
Mm-hmm. That's why I say, man. Let's get back to this video.
Safety, health, welfare, etc. Which driving and speeding are not. Hollander versus Lawson, in which the United States Supreme Court ruled that a police officer could not arrest a citizen merely for refusing to present identification.
Okay. I'm glad this is going and the events is going.
Come on,
because right here, I tell people all the time, like, even my girl, we got to an argument one time behind this, with police and all that. I'm like, I don't have to show this dude nothing. For one, especially being a passenger.
That's right. You ain't got to show him nothing.
Nothing.
His business is with the driver.
And what most people would do, as soon as you say that, they'll look at you like, come on, bro, you making this difficult. No, I'm not making it difficult.
I'm not.
Because this is something they normalize. They normalize, oh, keep your ID on you just in case cops need to know. No. First of all, that's profiling. Mm-hmm. Once you want to know, why you want to know who I am so bad? Mm-hmm. Then they always talk about, because I don't know if you're wanted. I don't know if you want it.
You don't have to know if I'm wanted.
All right. I'm
not doing nothing to you. I'm asleep.
First of all, you the one coming up to me posing a threat. For one. Because you're pulling me over for I don't know what. We heard earlier. In order to be a crime, it has to be what? an injured party. Okay. For 2, what's the first thing they pull you over and ask you for? Identification, insurance, and registration.
Shit that you don't even
Because
know.
it's a traffic stop. For one, us as Moors, we don't need none of that. We don't need registration, insurance, none of that. Because for one, we're traveling, not driving. Once again, look up the definition of traveling and driving. Okay. 2, I don't want to get my word in right. I don't want to say no dumb stuff. But for 2, you don't have to show identification when they ask you.
And they can't take you to jail for that shit. They can't put you in handcuffs. They don't supposed to.
And it's a fact.
But they violate us every day because we don't know.
And it's a fact that not having insurance or registration is non-arrestable offenses, but they'll still arrest you for that. But as long as you don't know and you ain't bringing it up in court, these facts that's known, they're just gonna
keep playing the game.
Tell y'all, man. And I'm mad that it took me so long to start getting onto it.
No,
but
bro,
it's okay.
It's never a greater time, never a better time.
Because they've been playing me all along, and I just been knowing the inside. Like, ever since growing up and being harassed by police and seeing my friends and family get harassed by police, I knew this feeling wasn't right. You feel what I'm saying? I just knew this is not right. They can't do this shit. Like, it's crazy.
An illegal arrest is an assault and battery. The person so attempted to be restrained of his liberty has the same right to use force in defending himself as he would in any other assault and battery. Adams versus State.
Y'all heard that?
One may come to the aid of another being
We're gonna rewind that.
in defending him.
Listen very
An
carefully.
illegal arrest is an assault and battery. The person so attempted to be restrained of his liberty has the same right to use force in defending himself as he would in any other assault and battery.
So that meaning just me and you on the street, we get into it, or you hit me, or you try to restrain me, I could use the same force as I would use on you to them.
Yep.
If I feel as though this is unlawful.
Say if you walking and the police, hey, stop. Hey, we got to ask you some questions. Stop, and you don't stop, and they pull up on you and they start grabbing you. Bro, you got the same way they grabbing you. Just pull out your pistol and shoot them motherfuckers. That you would do that to anybody else. The same way you do to them.
But we don't know these. But this is so powerful in the knowledge, bro. Knowledge is powerful, y'all. I'm telling y'all, knowledge is powerful. So I was saying, y'all, this feeling, just even holding this hat and just knowing the knowledge behind it and still learning, but it's like a powerful feeling. Not even having it on, just being around it and everything is just crazy.
Yeah, and like I was telling them, man, me when it's full, it comes with a tassel. It comes with a black tassel on it. When I wear it everywhere, but the time when I wore it to the beach one time, man, everybody don't know what that means, but to the people that do know what it means, you're gonna get the highest praise. To them, to those that know. So like I'm saying, when I went to the beach, and out of nowhere, Mexican man come to me, and he start doing this. Moroccan brother. Peace. We embrace each other, you know, because he know what he talking about. He know what he looking at. But our people don't know what they talking about. Our people don't know what they looking at when they see that fez. They might see some of those Masons wear it, but they don't wear it like the Moors wear it.
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, they gonna wear it when they at the lodges or when they home with their wives. You know, they're not gonna wear it out in public like the Moors gonna do.
Right.
Because the Moors know who they are. We don't have to have our tassels pinned to the side. We got knowledge, 720. The knowledge don't stop. You know? So just know when you see a Moor with that fez on, whether it's a maroon fez or it's a black fez, we got the highest status in the land.
That's facts.
Adams versus State. One may come to the aid of another being unlawfully arrested, just as he may where one is being assaulted, molested, raped, or kidnapped. Thus, it is not an offense to liberate one from the unlawful custody of an officer, even though he may have submitted to such custody without resistance.
Meaning,
That's powerful.
meaning,
I ain't do that.
and I done did this before. Meaning, if my cousin get pulled over by the police and they got that man locked up, they got him in handcuffs for nothing. Even if he ain't mad, even if he ain't talking to the police or nothing, and I pull up and I start beating that police ass, that's because he kidnapping my brother. And we got the right to beat up on these motherfuckers if we see them and if we see our brothers in trouble. Either we beat up on them or record them to make sure nothing ain't going on. No funny business ain't going on.
Mm-hmm. And I seen that happen on YouTube.
You know, I done pulled up on some brown people that I done seen pulled over by the police, and the police will say, "Hey, you some kin of them?" No, I'm just here to make sure everything go cope and steady. Mm-hmm. Make sure you ain't violating no rights. Mm-hmm. So what's the problem? What is he pulled over for? Oh, you obstructing my investigation. It ain't no investigation going on. Mm-hmm. In order for it to be an investigation going on, it had to be somebody called on that person. Mm-hmm. You ain't got no paperwork like that to say that somebody called on this person. Hey, my investigation, he was speeding. Well, then if you know your law, you already know speeding is not no crime. Nobody's hurt. He ain't injured nobody. So what are you doing here? Oh, I'll get with you in a minute. Let me call back up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna call back up now.
Yeah, call you back up so your backup can deal with me. And all they gonna say is they gonna try to stand in front of me. I don't want you to see what's going on.
While you do your illegal stuff.
Come on, man.
Like they do every time, and they try to get you with what she say to the dude. Oh man, lady came and said, "You gotta be within 20 feet of us or some shit like that." Told this man that. And he's looking at her like, okay, what, for your safety purposes, right? You and my safety purposes, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, whatever. He backs up. No. She still got a problem with it.
I want to back up. Bro, you the one with the gun, so you back
right,
up.
That's exactly what he said. You the one with the gun, you back up.
Yeah, right.
And she gonna talk about, I'm back. All right, so if you back, then why do you feel as though safety purposes, I'm up on you? Why do you feel like that? If you are back, like you just contradicted your whole self. The lady, just do what you got to do, and I'm gonna stand here and make sure you do it the right way.
Yeah, right.
Like these people.
California versus Farley. Speeding, driving without a license, wrong plates or no plates, no registration, no tags, etc. have been held to be non-arrestable offenses. People versus battles. Traffic infractions are not a crime. Kent versus Doles. The right to park or travel is part of the liberty of which the natural person, citizen, cannot be deprived without due process of law under the Fifth Amendment of the United States Constitution. State versus Armstead. The right to travel, the right to mode of conveyance, the right to locomotion are all absolute rights, and the police cannot make void the exercise of rights.
Just plain
Thompson
right here,
versus Smith. right of a citizen to travel upon the public highways and to transport one's property thereon, either by carriage or automobile, is not a mere privilege, which a city may prohibit or permit at will, but a common right, which he or she has under the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Chicago Motor Coach versus Chicago. Gare versus Chicago. Boone versus Clark. The use of the highways for the purpose of travel and transportation is not a mere privilege, but a common and fundamental right, which the public and natural people cannot be deprived. Christie versus Elliott. Traveling in an automobile on the public roads was not a threat to the public safety or health and constituted no hazard to the public.
Notice this man ain't said motor vehicle yet.
Wording.
Nigga ain't said motor vehicle yet. Only talk about is traveling in an automobile. Now the Constitution protects us for so we can travel in our automobile, but it don't protect us from driving in our motor vehicles. So the minute you tell the police, yeah, I'm in my motor vehicle.
Well, a motor vehicle can only be a commercial vehicle.
That means, I'm about to say, that means you making some type of money. You an Uber driver or DoorDash or something. And I ain't making no, even if I am DoorDash, I'm going to tell them people, I ain't making no money off this damn car.
Right.
I'm traveling, nigga. And catching me, you caught me in the middle of traveling.
Right.
And such a traveler owed no other duty to the public, example, the state. He or she and his and her auto having equal right to and on the roadways and highways as horses and wagons, etc. This same right is still substantive rule in that speeding, running stop signs, traveling without license plates or registration are not threats to the public safety and thus are not arrestable offenses.
Well, that's good. So we just talked about that, right? Not even like a couple seconds ago. So that meaning we could go out back right now and make us a whole goddamn train with a motor in it for the whole goddamn dirt road.
Oh, yeah.
And we could go into town.
Yeah.
With nothing.
No damn problems. Because we traveling.
I don't care. We go on the highway. As long as that motor, about to say it. As long as the automobile can go up to certain speeds, we could be right on the highway too. With nothing.
Dirt bikes, four-wheelers, all them.
Yeah, my bike like people, we're traveling. There's nothing they could do. There's really nothing they could do behind it. But y'all knowledge don't be there, so y'all don't be knowing. And most of y'all don't even be taking y'all time out to even try to know none of this stuff before y'all even hop on the bike and go out there, man. Like, been trying to put knowledge onto y'all, man.
This shit getting real, boy.
It's definitely getting real now.
Boyd versus
You
U.S.
are listening now, right?
The court is to protect against any encroachment of constitutionally secured liberties.
Meaning, when you go in that courtroom, they already supposed to know. If you start talking about their constitution and how they violate it, they already supposed to let you go.
Griffin versus Matthews. Lack of federal jurisdiction cannot be waived or overcome by agreement of parties, and want of jurisdiction may not be cured by consent of parties. Louisville versus Motley. If a tribunal court finds absence of proof of jurisdiction over a person in subject matter, the case must be dismissed. The accuser bears the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Burns versus Superior Court. Ministerial officers are incompetent to receive grants of judicial power from the legislator. Their acts in attempting to exercise such powers are necessarily nullities. Aces versus U.S. judge ceases to sit as a judicial officer because the governing principle of administrative law provides that courts are prohibited from substituting their evidence, testimony, record, arguments, and rationale for that of the agency. Additionally, courts are prohibited from substituting their judgment for that of the agency. Courts in administrative issues are prohibited from even listening to or hearing arguments, presentation, or rationale. U.S. versus Will, Collins versus Virginia. When a judge acts where he or she does not have jurisdiction to act, the judge is engaged in an act or acts of treason.
You see, it's something about an act of treason, right?
Or the judge not having jurisdiction
They know they don't have jurisdiction.
at all.
They know that for a fact, bro.
Especially not over us
They know that.
as Moors.
Right. I'm gonna read you something real quick. Bear with me real quick. This is United States Code of Law, Title 18, Chapter 13, Sections 241 and 242. If two or more persons conspire to injure, oppress, threaten, or intimidate any person in any state, territory, commonwealth, possession, or district in the free exercise of enjoyment or any right or privilege secured to him by the Constitution or laws by the United States, or because of having his having so exercise the same, or if two or more people go in disguise on a highway like the police do, or on the premises of another with intent to prevent or hinder his free exercise or enjoyment of any right or privilege so secured, they shall be fined under this title or imprisonment not more than 10 years or both. And if death results from the acts of committed in violation of this section, or if such acts include kidnapping or attempt to kidnap, aggravated sexual abuse, or any attempt to commit aggravated sexual abuse, or any attempt to kill, they shall be fined under this title under this title or in prison for any terms any terms for years or for life, or both, or may be sentenced to death. Hold on. Whoever under color of any law, statute, ordinance, regulation, or custom willfully subject of any state, territory, commonwealth, possession, or district in the deprivation of any rights and privilege or immunity secured or protected by the Constitution or law of the United States, or different punishments, pains, penalties on account of such person being an alien or by reason of his color, race, then are prescribed for the punishment of sentences shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 1 year or both, and if bodily injury result from the acts committed in violation of this section, if such as included the use, the attempt, the threat, and use of a dangerous weapon, explosives, fire, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned more than 10 years, life, or both, sentenced to death. So basically what they saying is, if these motherfuckers like the police do try to kidnap you like they do when they kidnap you and take you to jail after they damn do that, if you defend yourself good enough and you can find these people guilty under this under the United States Code of Law, Title 18, Chapter 13, Section 241 and 242, they violate this shit every day. So meaning, if you kill a police, this is what you bring up. If you if the police doing anything to you, you happen to hurt them, they violated you first. So whatever come with it, come with it.
Right. Because just like we say every day, without even knowing that, we'll tell a cop, you just like me. Just because you got a badge, you ain't no different.
Right.
And that's basically what that's stating.
And exactly.
And and I know in the beginning of that statement, basically what they were saying too, was like how, you know, police be it's called entrapment, where they be sitting in the cut where you can't see them. They have to be, you have to be shown. They have to be seen. It's entrapment from jump.
Yeah, you can't.
And then say they pop out of nowhere and you speeding or so-called was speeding, and now you get into a little chase or whatever the case may be, and you get hurt. That's his fault, not yours. That's their fault. But you gotta prove that. You gotta know this knowledge to prove that.
I want to read this last part too before I then turn this video back on. It say every person or city, state, government official who, under color of law, deprives any legal citizen their rights and immunity is subject to civil or criminal punishment pursuant to the United States Code of Law, Title 18, Part 1, Chapter 13. The ultra-virus statutes do not protect such violating persons from prosecution, as individuals such as violators are subject to $10,000 or fine or prison. Notice the agent. Oh, what that part right there was saying was, like we just said, the police got them stop you from doing anything, you can charge them.
Right.
Yeah, this ain't talking about killing them or nothing right now. This is talking about the charges you can bring up against them.
Right.
And it's saying the ultra-virus statutes, it don't protect them from, you know. But keep going. Notice the agents. The binding official oath and oath of ethics taken by all present past persons formerly holding public trust or public official by virtue of that trust are obligated under the authority of the United States Republic and by the supreme law of the land to not oblige, not to dishonor, but to respect and protect the substantial rights, liberties, and immunities of the people. The obligations of all officials holding seats of government and occupying positions of authority still stands. Meaning, whenever you got them, if the police then y'all do go to court, the judge already supposed to be on your side. Even if the police ain't on your side, the judge supposed to be on your side, because they gotta uphold the substantial rights, liberties, and immunities of the people, which they took that official over that over of ethics.
When a judge acts where he or she does not have jurisdiction to act, the judge is engaged in an act or acts of treason.
And another thing right fast is that, so being, once you know what we know, because I don't want to really put too much of that out there, you feel what I'm saying? If that judge was to still into acting, trying to lock me up, after I already said what I said, and you know, I'm here on a special, you know, everything, he's acting in treason.
Yeah. So all you gotta do is whenever they go, if they take you to jail or whatever, whenever you get out, make you an appeal to the higher courts.
Right.
And then they gonna see that.
Right.
And either they gonna look at it and say, damn, we let's go ahead and end this here. We'll dismiss it. Or they can play that game and say, hey, this nigga ain't going to the Supreme Court appeal for this shit after this.
Right.
Because this shit gonna take some time, and then it's gonna take
gone.
money.
You know
what I'm saying?
We gone. We're going to the Most High, because after that, I'm gonna sue all y'all.
Damn right.
Writing is void ab initio in the case of fraud in the inception, and it need not be formally rescinded as a prerequisite to right of avoidance.
That was it for this video, y'all. You know, let them know your name or whatever where they can find you at.
Now, call me D2, whatever you wanna. Hey, you wanna add me on? Nah, I can't give y'all none of my information like that. But I do claim my nationality as a Moor. My name Yusef Bey. 5 here, we standing on the 2-7.
That there pizza's big enough for the both of us.
Sure is. But this town ain't.
This video was basically trying to give y'all a little knowledge on Moors and in the court. And I hope y'all enjoyed it. And let me know in the comments what y'all think. See y'all in the next one.